So where do you stand on immigration? So in the United States, obviously, this has become a massive question considering President Trump's position on the border. And there are a variety of positions. We've got sort of the libertarian position that says you want to come in and work, come on in and work, but you don't necessarily get citizenship. You've got the kind of far left and now mainstream left position. Come on in no matter what. We'll try and give you citizenship. You don't have to assimilate. You've got the hard right restrictionist position, which is you're undercutting our labor base. Don't come in at all. We don't want you here. Where do you come down on that? Where do you think conservatism wants to come down on it?
Elements of a couple of those things. First of all, the Conservative Party of Canada is one of the few right-of-center parties in the world that gets a large percentage and sometimes an outright majority of the immigrant vote. So we're very distinct that way, in a way that's very positive. I'm fundamentally pro-immigration. I think one of the things that has made Canada, the United States, and our society successful is that we embrace newcomers who often, frankly, are often conservatives. They're entrepreneurial, they're ambitious, they're aspirational, they believe in family, they believe in faith, they're opposed to crime, et cetera. So I actually think properly done, immigrants should be a really great base for a conservative party. But first and foremost, immigration has to be legal. Immigration is not a right. Immigration is something granted by the citizens of the country through law. I have no time for illegal immigration. And as I've told other leaders in other countries, no illegal immigration system or phenomenon will ever be popular with a mass of people. It just will not. Obviously, in modern day and age, the immigration system should be scoped primarily around the country's economic needs. There can be humanitarian and family considerations, but it's fundamentally about the economy and about building our society. So, look, it's what I say about so much in the book. I'm fundamentally pro-immigration, just like I'm fundamentally pro-trade, pro-markets. But that doesn't mean that immigration is good no matter what. That having, caravans of people invading the country would be a good thing, or that you can live, frankly, what I would consider the libertarian delusion that people will come into the country, but somehow they will have no access to social services. It's just never going to happen. So, it's got to be a policy rooted in what we have seen to be successful over the decades.
Well, one of the arguments that's happened sort of inside the Republican Party here has been an argument between, I would say, sort of the Tom Cotton wing of the Republican Party on immigration and maybe the Ted Cruz wing. Ted Cruz is very much in favor of, for example, what we call H-1B visas, people coming in for high-tech jobs.
Right.
And he says, okay, well, you want to bring talent in? Bring talent in. Those folks can work here. It makes our economy more competitive. Tom Cotton says those are jobs that are being taken away from people who live in the United States. We should restrict immigration along those lines. Where do you stand on that in terms of economics?
Well, I think that's an empirical question. I think the truth is that, certainly if you look at the Canadian labor market, I would suspect the same thing is true in the American labor market, that you have lots of jobs and occupation where the economy has needs right away and there simply aren't the kind of numbers to fulfill them. And bringing into the country people who are educated, are going to fit in with a job right away and be productive citizens, that's a positive thing. Obviously, and this is a big problem I have with American immigration policy today. Fact is that American immigration policy, through family connections, through illegal immigration, is often bringing in low-skilled labor. Tons of low-skilled labor at the very time in history where we know there's in fact never been a time in history where low-skilled labor is under more pressure, downward pressure on its wages and its living standards and its opportunities because of the evolution of economy. Why would you bring in that kind of labor as opposed to the kind of labor the economy needs? So, as I say, I think it's an empirical question. I would really doubt that there's an argument to say the U.S. has no need for immigrants and that there's no immigrants who could possibly help build the American economy. I think that's a nonsensical position. But what's happened in the United States, and this is what happens where you have unpopular or illegal immigration, public opinion turns against all immigration. And that's what I say a good conservative approach would seek to avoid.